Hi guys, in this video we will learn how to add form validation in Laravel application. So whenever we have a form and a user will input the data, at that time we need to validate that data. Like if there is an email, then the data should be in email format. Same thing, if there is a date of birth enter, then the data should be entered in there is any date format, so that way we can particularly insert into the database. So let's get started with the example how to add the form validation in Laravel, because Laravel already provide the predefined validation. So let's get started and let's see how to use it. So I already downloaded Laravel fresh application here, and you can see that it's running properly. So let me create one controller and let's see the example. Okay, so let me clear it and let me controller first. PHP artisan Mac controller, and I will say user controller. Okay, and it's created. And now if I go here to the routes area, I will create one route. So let me use it, app http, and I will say controllers and user controller. Okay, now let me create one route here, like route get route, and I will say users slash create. Okay, and then I will use the user controller class, and I will use the create method, and I will simply give the route name as well, so later I can use it. So users dot create, simply save it. Okay, now let me go to the controller. So if I go here, simply I will create one function, and there will be a create, and simply remove it and return view. Okay, and I will say create users dot create, simply save it. Okay, so now if I go to the resource folder, and into the view folder, I need to create one folder like users, and inside the users I need to create a create blad file. So simply save it and create dot blad dot php. Okay, and now let me start with the HTML. Laravel form validation example. Okay, and I will use bootstrap cdn to make a proper design of the form. So let me copy it and simply paste it here, sorry, here into the head tag. And now let me create one container class here, container. Inside the container I will add like class card, and then I will say card header, and inside that I will add h4 tag, and I will add simply title Laravel form validation. Simply save it, and now let me go and create card body. Inside the body I will create one form. So I will simply create like method will be the post, and I will pass the csrf token, and then I will define the field name. So I will create the user create form like name, email, password, and confirm password field. So let me create the field. Okay, so empty2, and inside that label I will say the name, and then I will define input. I will take text, name will be the name. Okay, and I will say like class form control, simply save it. And now let me simply copy it, and I will give name, then I will add email, save it, and simply copy it again, and let me go and add password, and then I will say type will be the password, and name will be the password. Simply copy it, and I will say confirm password, and I will say password underscore confirmation. Okay, simply save it, and let me again the copy, and I will give the submit button here. Success, and I will say submit, simply save it. Okay, now let me run this project. So let me go here and run the application. serve. And now if I go here into the application and let's say users slash create, okay, you can see that it's perfect simple design form. Okay, now if I go here and let me add some space above, so mt5, so that means it's making some spacing above. So you can see that now, like name, email and password and confirm password field. Okay, now let me go here and add new method and add a validation. Okay, so let me create one route, post route, users slash, sorry, I will simply call user, and then I will say user controller colon class, and then I will say store method, and I will also give the route name. So I will set the route name here, users dot store. Simply save it. Okay, and now if I go here, let me create one store method. So simply add it and store, and I will use the request object and request valid. Okay, and simply I will display all the request input parameter. Okay, simply save it. Okay, and now if I go here into the form, I just simply need to add action. Okay, here I will give the route name, so route users dot store. Simply save it. Okay, now if I refresh it, okay, and like if I give the name and if I click on submit, you can see that there is a name, email, password and password underscore confirmation. Okay, right now we added like email and the password, but confirm password is not added. So that means we need to add some validation so user cannot mistake, or without any issue, like must be some of the field that should be fillable. Okay, so let me add the validation. So let me go here and simply you can see that request, and there is a validate method. So first argument we need to pass as an array and give the field name. So we have a field name like name. Okay, name, and then I will use the validation. So if I go here into the documentation, there is a list of validation rules available. You can see that accepted URL and all the things. You can see that like required if. So that's all the validation Laravel already provided, so you can use it whatever you need it. Okay, so right now we just need for required, so I will add like name will be the required field. Okay, so I will add required, and email, so email is also required, so because we must need an email for authentication. And then I will say if I go here, there is a email validation as well, so that format should be email format. So you can see that there is already predefined email rules, so I will say email, then I will say password, and I will say required. Okay, with the required, I also want to set some length of the password validation, like they cannot enter just 2 3 character for the password. So I will add minimum should be the 6 character. Okay, and then I also need to add like if there is added the password, there is a confirmed validation that also check with the confirmation field. So if I go here into the confirm validation, let me go, where is it, yeah, confirmed. If I go here, you can see that the field, you can see the field under validation must be confirmed. So let me copy it. Okay, and let me use that validation, simply save it, and you can see that there should be a name with the field underscore confirmation. So what is the password underscore confirmation, so that validation will check the current password with the confirm password, so it should be match. Okay, so I simply use the confirm password, and if everything fine, then it will go to the validation. Okay, now if I go here and let me go back and simply refresh it and click submit, you can see that it's redirect back, but I don't know what happens. That means validation is happening and it redirect back. So we also need to display the validation error message. So let me go here and let me display it here. Okay, so if errors as, sorry, errors any, so like whenever validation will be full, at that time errors variable will be returned. So I will say as first if, and then I will say and if, and inside that I will add one dav. There will be alert dancer. Okay, and then I will say ul. Inside the ul we will add for each, so one by one all the message will be display here, error message. So if I go errors all and as error, and then I will say and for each. Okay, and simply if I go here, simply li, and then I will display the error. Save it. Okay, if go back and if I click on submit, you can see the name field is required, password field confirmation does not match. Same thing if I add email like this way, and if click on submit, you can see that email field must be validate the, okay, but you can see that here if I change anything and if I click on submit, you can see that name is gone away because I already filled out. So let me go here and let me add it as a value here, and we need to use request old, and then I will say name. Okay, same thing I need to copy for email as well. So if I copy it and I will simply add email. Okay, simply save it. Okay, and now if I go and click on submit, you can see that the name field, because you enter right, so the name field will be there. Okay, and if you add like 1 2 and submit, you can see that password field must be at least 6 characters. Okay, so like this way you can implement the validation. Also you can add, like right now we simply add all the validation above. So if you want to field wise the validation above the input, then also you can add that. So let me go here and let me use the display the message like error. If is there any error with the name and error, and I will say span, and I will say text dense. Simply I will add value, save it. Okay, and now if I remove it and click on submit, yeah, undefined variable, I think, yeah, not a value but it's a message, sorry. So if I save it, okay, and if I refresh it again, like if I submit it, you can see the name field is required. Yes, so I made a mistake here. So dancer, okay, class name. So if I go and click on submit, you can see that name field is required. Same thing you can do for all. So you don't have to display at a time all the validation, so you can simply display like this way, email, and here will be the password. Same thing here, you can add for a confirmation password. Okay, save it, and if I click on submit, you can see the password field, the password field confirmation does not match. Okay, so now you can see here, okay, if everything will be fine with the validation, so user should be create. Okay, so I will say user create, and then I will create the form. Name should be from the request name, and then I will say like email, and email should be request email, and then I will say password, and we will make hash mac. So I will say hash mac and request password. Okay, simply save it, and once everything created, then it should be redirect back, return back with success message. Okay, so I will say user created. Okay, simply save it, and let me use the hash here, use hash, and also let me use the user model. So if I go here, app models, and then I will say user model. Okay, simply save it. Okay, and now let me create it. Let me go here and I will say user, and like Hardik, and I will add the correct information now. 123456, 123456, and you click submit. Okay, you can see that there is a problem. Yeah, semicolon is missing, so simply save it. Okay, and now if I refresh again, okay, and now if I go here into the users table, yeah, you can see that it's created a one row here, but you can see that there is a success message is not displaying here. So let me add it properly here. So if I go and I will say session, and if there is a success session, then and session, okay, and now let me display the message here, alert success, and then I will simply display the value. Okay, save it. Okay, and now let me go and like user 2, and I will say like Hardik 2, and I will add the password as well, 123456, 123456, and submit it. You can see that user created, so you will have a properly. Okay, you can see here. Okay, now if I go and I will use the same email. Okay, now if I go here and like user 3, and I will add hardik at the gmail.com, and I will 123456 So now if I click on submit, you can see that there is a duplicate entry error. So that means we need must be any validation that will check with the database, that should be unique email. So Laravel already provide the unique validation. So if I go scroll up, there is a unique validation. If I go here, and there will be a, you can see here unique. So if I click here, then you can see that you simply need to use unique validation here. I will add email, and that should be unique, and then I need to simply add the table name. So I will give the users. Okay, and if I go here and click submit again and click on continue, you can see that email has already been taken. So if you are using the PHP, then you need to run the database query and check manually everything you need to do. But Laravel has a easy process. You can see that you can simply use the unique validation, and that will automatically check to the tables and with the column. Okay, so this is the simple way to implement the validation. Okay, and this is the perfect way. But if your project is a very long and you want to make it the better way, like should be not every method has a like this way to define the validation message and all the things. So you can use Laravel request class, so that way you can define the validation message separately, all the things. Okay, so let me go here and give you another method to define the validation as well. So let me clear it. Okay, and let me create one class. So I will say artisan mac request, and I will say store user request, and click hit enter. You can see here it's created a request folder, and inside the request folder there is a one class. Okay, you can see here also define the rules. So what I will do, simply I will copy this array, and simply I will use it here. Okay, at the semicolon, you can see that we just need to define the rules. Okay, and here we need to just define like name required and whatever validation, and into the controller you just simply need to use it. So if I go here and I will simply use app http, and I will say request and store user request, simply save it, and now I just need to simply use it here. And you can see that you don't need to use this one. So basically, like, it's very clean code and the better way to use it. So let me go here and it is working or not, let's check it. Okay, so let me remove it and click on submit. Okay, let me run the application again. So php artisan sir, refresh and click on continue. Yeah, I think I will say create. Okay, and I will say simply submit. Yeah, this is the authentication. So if I go here into the validation, so we don't require, so we just simply return true right now because we are not checking the authorization right now. So simply click on continue. You can see that the name field is required and password. So you can see here it's very perfectly define the request class, and then request class we can use it. So it's very clean code with the controller file we can keep. So you can use this way as well with the request class. And I hope guys this video will help you to improve your knowledge about form validation. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.